This is Ellie, A-line miniskirt with an asymmetric wrap front. Concealed zippers at both side seams can be undone to reveal more skin. 4 darts allow for a more tailored fit, and snap fastening is hidden for extra simplicity. If you'd like to sew it yourself, keep on watching. Transfer the darts onto the wrong side of the fabric. Do it with a tailor's chalk or a removable pen. Draw a line right in the middle of each dart and mark where each dart should end. It's the point of a dart. Fold the dart in half with fabric right sides together along your marked line and pin it in place. Put the last pin at the point of the dart. It will be your visual guide when sewing. Use a standard straight stitch and start sewing from the widest part of the dart down. Backstitch only at the top. When you reach the end, don't backstitch. Instead, leave a long tail of threads and tie them together. Be careful not to pull the threads too tight, as it will result in puckering. When you're done, iron each dart through. First, iron the dart on the inside of the skirt, but be careful not to press beyond the vanishing point, as it will leave a crease on the fabric. Then, direct the dart towards the center of the skirt and iron it on the outside, on the right side of the fabric. Notice that I don't put my iron on the whole dart because I want to avoid transferring it to the right side of the fabric. Finish off all 4 side seams on your overlocker, 1 on the right front, 1 on the left front, and 2 on the back piece. Your zipper is probably too long. To shorten it, measure 10 centimeters or approximately 4 inches, starting from the top stop. Mark where you want your zipper to end and sew over this line using a zigzag stitch set to 4 width and the lowest length. Cut off the excess around 2 centimeters or 1 inch below the finish line. Put the back piece right side up and place your zipper to the left of your back piece with the slider down. Unzip the zipper. Take the right hand side of the zipper, turn it around and place it down. Make sure the top stop lines up with the bottom notch on the back piece and the zipper tape matches the edge of the fabric. The upper notch indicates where the finish line of the zipper should be. Pin the zipper to the garment, placing the pins parallel to the fabric edge. Use an invisible zipper foot. Line the left groove of the foot with the zipper coils and sew it slowly using a straight stitch and removing the pins as you go. Go as far as you can and backstitch when you reach the end. Take the left front piece and put it next to the back piece with the right side up. Take the unsewn part of the zipper, turn it around and place it just like you did previously. The front of the tape should be facing down, the top stop should line up with the bottom notch, and the zipper tape should match the edge of the fabric. Make sure that both sides of the zipper line up and pin it in place. Sew the zipper just like you did previously, but this time line the right groove with the zipper coils. To finish the rest of the seam allowance, close the zipper, place the right sides of the fabric together and move the tails of the zipper out of the way before you pin the fabric in place. When you're ready to sew, switch to a regular presser foot and start sewing at the waist. When you reach the zipper, sew as close to the zipper as possible. Finish the seam right where the previous stitching line ended. Finish off the entire bottom hem and the remaining side raw edges on your overlocker. Take the skirt and lay it flat onto the table with the wrong side up. Start folding the entire bottom hem towards the inside of the skirt, right in the middle of the back piece. Go either way and pin the fabric in place every few centimeters. Your bottom hem should be 3 centimeters or 1.18 inch wide. When you reach the side seam, finish off the loose overlocker thread chain. Simply tie a knot close to the fabric and cut off the excess threads. Then fold the side seam to the inside of the skirt, and after that fold the bottom hem and pin right at the end, making sure you catch the zipper tail. Fold and pin the remaining bottom hem. Don't stretch the fabric. Place your pins every few centimeters and follow the natural curvature. Sew on top of the folded hem on your regular sewing machine using a standard straight stitch. I like to put the needle right where the overlock stitch ends and use it as a guide when sewing. Since the bottom hem is curved, you may need to stretch the fabric ever so slightly when sewing. Don't worry about the fabric not laying flat at this point. When you're done, just press the hem down with an iron set on steam. Do it on the wrong side of the fabric. Start at the bottom of the left front piece and fold the fabric edge towards the inside. Move upwards and pin the fabric as you go. Again, keep the fold 3 centimeters or 1.18 inch wide. Take the right front and start folding the fabric edge at the top, putting the pins as you go. Again, keep the fold the same width. When you reach the very bottom of the right front piece, fold the fabric to the inside at 45-degree angle and pin it in place. Sew over it on your regular sewing machine using a standard straight stitch. Again, keep the needle right where the overlock stitch ends. When sewing the right front piece, go straight down and backstitch at the end. To secure the 45-degree angle fold, sew over the existing stitch line back and forth, sewing on the top of the skirt. Make sure to catch the stitch line behind it. At the end, press it all down with an iron. Lay your back waist facing piece onto the table with the right side up. Put the left waist facing on top, matching the right sides together, and pin both pieces at the side seams. Do the same with right waist facing. Sew over the pinned fabric on your regular sewing machine and iron the seam allowances flat. Finish off the entire bottom edge of your waist facing and both sides on your overlocker. Match the right side of the skirt with the right side of the waist facing. Make sure that all seams and notches are lined up and pin the fabric in place. If you have any loose overlocker thread chains, finish them off by tying a knot at the end and cutting off excess threads. Leave 1 centimeter off at both ends of waist facing and fold it towards the outside of the skirt. Sew over it on your regular sewing machine. Keep the needle 1 centimeter or 0.4 inch away from the fabric edge. Open up the waist facing and pin it to the seam allowance hidden beneath. Sew over the seam allowance and not on the skirt on your regular sewing machine using a standard straight stitch and keeping the needle a few millimeters off the seam line. Go slow to be precise. Fold the waist facing towards the inside of the skirt and pin the fabric in place. To secure the waist facing, sew on top of the skirt, sewing on the outside of the fabric for 1 centimeter, but only where the seams and darts are. You want to hide the stitch line by simply sewing over the existing ones. At the end, press the waist facing with an iron for a neat finish. To finish off both sides of the waist facing, use a ladder stitch. Tie a knot at the end of your thread and put the needle through one side of the fabric starting from the inside. Move to the opposite side of the fabric and put the needle in. Pull the needle out a few millimeters above the point where you put it in. Move again to the opposite side and repeat this process until you've covered the entire opening. Secure the stitch and repeat for the other side of the waist facing. To prevent the waist facing from turning inside out and to keep it flat, gently hand stitch it to the dress in a few places. To start, I put the needle through in between the facing and the skirt, pull it off, and then put the needle back again. And when it's in between the two layers, I grab just a few threads of the fabric with my needle, checking whether it's visible from the outside. Then I put the needle through again and I repeat this process a few times. I tie a knot as close to the fabric as possible when I'm ready to finish and trim off the excess threads. Put the skirt on and pin it temporarily to find the best fit. Mark where you want both front panels to end or how much you need to wrap the skirt to wear it comfortably. Draw a line 1 cm or 0.4 inch below the top line of the left front piece and measure 1.5 cm or 0.6 inch from the angled pin. The angled pin marks where one side of the front of the skirt ends. Put a pin at the 1.5 cm mark and measure the same distance 2 more times. Each pin suggests where you need to put a sew-on snap fastening, the bottom piece. Take a pair of sew-on snap fastening and remove the top. You will be working with just the bottom piece now. You can easily distinguish between the top and the bottom piece. The top one is thicker, the bottom one is thinner. Take some thread, fold it in half and put it through the needle. Tie a knot at the end. Put the needle through the fabric where the pin indicates. Take a bottom snap piece and put the needle through one of the holes. It doesn't matter which one. Position the snap at the center and go around the hole 4 or 5 times. Move to the opposite hole by putting the needle behind the snap and pulling it back up through or behind the desired hole. Once again, go around the hole 4 or 5 times and repeat for the remaining holes. To secure the snap, tie a knot and put the needle behind the snap, making sure to catch the fabric underneath. Repeat it once more, just in case. Do this with all the remaining bottom snap pieces. Cover this area with the front piece of the skirt, just like you would if you were putting it on. Make sure the edge of the skirt aligns with the angled pin and mark where the bottom snaps are by putting a pin for each one through the fabric on top. You will be able to feel each bottom snap when you put a finger on top of the fabric. The sewing process is exactly the same for the top pieces. Remember to put them with the cup facing the fabric and the hole in the middle facing out. This is what Ellie wrap skirt looks like when finished. I particularly like the concealed snap fastening and the little zips at side seams. Leave a like and subscribe for more designs. Thank you for watching.